Hi everyone, my name is Shrikant. Today we are going to learn record trigger flows with some real-time scenarios. By end of this video, you will be able to understand what is record trigger flow, why and when to use record trigger flows, and we'll also see how different is with Apex triggers. As the names are matching, even the functionality does match with record trigger flow and Apex triggers. And along the way, we'll see some real-time scenarios to have a better understanding. First things first, you would have seen this image somewhere in Instagram or in Facebook, right? This image exactly represents the current situation in Salesforce. So if you see, we already have automation tools like workflow, process builder, and flows, right? Still, Salesforce is more focusing on flows, leaving behind workflows and process builders. At this moment also, at this point, or with this current release, flows is already far behind workflows and process builder because flows has multiple features. Still, Salesforce is improvising more and more and leaving behind workflows and process builders. To keep it simple, learn flows as quickly as possible. Coming to flows, flow is really a powerful tool which is having multiple capabilities. That is the reason you are seeing 5 different types of flows. Each of the type will be having different abilities. For example, screen flow can create user interface which none of the other types cannot create. In the same way, record triggered flow can be called whenever a record is inserted, updated or deleted, which is not possible with any other type of flow. I already made a video which covers both screen flow and auto launch flow. You can access that video by clicking on the information icon on the right top, or I will also add video link in the description. You can check that if you have any queries. So if you people want me to do video on schedule trigger flow or platform event flow, comment it down so that I will do it accordingly. So now today's hero, which is record trigger flow, will try to understand what it is in the first place. Record trigger flows will be configured whenever a record is inserted, updated or deleted. So in these three scenarios, if you wanted to do some actions like updating own record or updating any other object's records or sending emails or sending custom notifications, creating records, etc. etc. So if you want to do all these actions whenever a record is inserted, updated or deleted, then we need to go ahead with record triggered flow. Wait. This is something workflows and process builder does, right? Then why this record triggered flow has been introduced? First things first, process builders cannot do any actions whenever record is deleted. We have the other differences also. Let's see that now. If we see here, we can configure record triggered flow to perform some actions in the below events. Before insert, after the insert, before the update, after the update, and before delete also. So if you see, whenever we create process builder or workflow, it will ask after the record is created or updated, which means process builder or workflow will work only on the after events, which means after insert. After the insert, if you want to perform some actions, you can choose process builder and workflow. In the same way, for after update also, if you want to perform some actions, you can do with process builder and workflow. But with flows, you can perform any action in all these events, which are before insert, before update, after update, and before delete. There are some actions which can be performed in both before insert and after insert. In those cases, there is a chance that before insert would be the ideal solution. In this case, flows are really helpful to optimize our performance. Didn't get it? It's fine. We will be seeing these scenarios in the coming slides. There I will explain it more clearly. Before going to the scenarios, we need to understand behind the scenes what will happen whenever a record is inserted or updated. Now, as a user, whenever you create a record or update the record and update the field values and click on save, it will not directly insert or update into the database. Salesforce will make a world tour before it inserts or updates data into Salesforce. Additionally, it will make another world tour after the insert or updating is done on that particular record. You don't believe me? Let me show that to you. This is the world tour I am talking about. So whenever you provide values in create form and then click on save, it will not directly go into the database. Instead, it will go to the flow first and then it will go to the apex trigger. And then after it goes to database, it will again go to apex trigger and then workflow and then to process builder and finally it will execute flow again, which is in after insert. So when I have explained the events in flow, I told before insert, after insert, right? So these are those insert events. So before the insert event and after the insert event. Before and update events will be shown whenever you update it. So that is something which I will show in a different flowchart. So in here, This sequence is something which I am not defined. This is something which Salesforce said in their official page. Whenever you wanted to perform some action automatically on insert, you can put your logic in any of these 6 blocks. However, workflows is something which is outdated now. Don't use it at this point of time. And process builder is something which you need to do it for existing processes. And flow is something which you need to use it more often. And if flow is also not able to do some complex scenarios, then you need to go for apex trigger. Now we have before insert and after insert, right? As I said, you can put your logic anywhere in the 6 blocks. Whether you write, you can also leave it empty. So already flows are there, you can write your logic or not. Already triggers are there, you can write your logic or not. It's your wish based on the requirement. Whether you write it or not, Salesforce will definitely check all the blocks to see if you have written any logic and executes them if there is any. So this is how the flowchart works whenever you insert it. As we understood, this is the order of execution whenever you insert a record. We need to understand what are the tools that are come under before events and what are the tools that come under after the events. As the name suggests, anything that happens before the database insertion will be under before event, and anything that come under after database insertion will come under after events. Now the question is, whenever a requirement comes, how do we know whether we need to use before event components or after event components? Let us discuss about before events and after events. So whenever user clicks on insert, so it will go to database via passing this before block. We should use this before block to pre-populate any field on the same record. With this, we will actually save an extra DML operation. I will explain you how we are saving extra DML operation here. Let's assume your friend wants to courier something. So she needs to travel from her house to courier office. However, your house is in between her house and courier office. So definitely she needs to go through your house. Now you want to send courier also. As she's anyhow going through your house, you will give your package to her so that she will take your package and her package and goes to courier office. So by this way, you're actually saving yourself traveling to the courier office, right? Taking this analogy, let's do a comparison here. So your friend who is taking your package is similar to the person who is clicking on save by entering so and so values. So the package here what that your friend is holding is the values whatever the user clicked on, I mean, providing the values and then click on save. Now the courier office is something your database. Now this house, your house would be before block. So whatever you want to pre-populate is something which needs to compare it as your package. So on clicking on save, it goes through the before block, which means your friend goes through your house. And in the before block, if you give pre-populating logic, which means your package, so your friend will take it to you in the same way. Salesforce will take the existing data that user has provided and along with the pre-populating logic that you provided in the before block, and it will be sent to database like both of your couriers will be reached to courier office. In this way, you can save yourself a DML operation by putting your logic in the before block. We need to use after event block when you want to update any other object records. Let's say when an account is inserted and if you want to update contact records, related contact records, use after insert block. Something like you can use after insert flow, after insert apex trigger, and you can also use workflows, process builders. And if you want to send some emails or calling some external web services, you can use after insert block or after update block. And also, whenever you want to use certain system fields which are last modified by, last modified date, record ID, created date, created by, all these things will be available after the insertion or updation happens. So if you want to do or if you want to perform some actions on these particular fields, then also you need to go for after event block. So a simple thumb rule is if you want to pre-populate any field on the same record, go with before event. In any other case, go to after events. As simple as that. Hope this is clear. With this, we can come to a conclusion and we'll create a thumb rule here. So if we need to update or pre-populate any field or fields on the same record which trigger the flow, then we need to go with before flow event. It can be before insert or before update. In any other condition, jump to after flow events, which is insert or update. Any other condition in the sense, updating of any other objects record, sending of emails, sending of customer notifications, creation of records, deletion of records, etc., etc., etc. Remember this thumb rule, it will be very handy in our coming scenarios. Hi everyone, I have a problem here. While inserting an account, if user provides billing address and doesn't provide shipping address, update shipping address automatically with the billing address. How to achieve this? This is very much possible with Salesforce flows, with record trigger flow and before insert event. Okay guys, this is brand new. So people who want to learn, do along with me. And another good thing is we are using standard objects for all these scenarios. Basically what Cuba is asking is whenever account is getting created, let's say test account, and then if we scroll down, we have billing address and shipping address. If billing address is populated with all the values with billing city, billing state, and zip code, and country, and then if you click on save, and if shipping address is not provided, then all the values of the billing address has to be copied over to shipping address accordingly. So if I click on save, that should be copied over. However, this is not a standard functionality, so this is something which we need to build. We can easily do with Salesforce flow, that too in before insert trigger. Let us see how we can create flows in Salesforce. So click on setup, and in setup search for flows, and under process automation click on flows. It will take us to the flows home screen. In this flows home screen we need to click on new flow, which will take us to the flows builder. Here we need to select the type of flow. So we have 5 different types of flows. However, we need to select record trigger flow. So we need to select record trigger flow. Why? Because whenever a record is created or updated or deleted, if you want to perform some action, then you need to select record trigger flow. So in our scenario, we need to update our shipping address based on billing address whenever account is created, right? So that's the reason we need to select record trigger flow and then click on next. Now always select auto layout so that all your elements will be auto arranged. Now it will ask us to select the object. So our object is account. And now if you see, it will ask when this should happen. Whenever record is created, updated, created or updated both, or deleted. So in this current scenario, we'll just select a record is created and then we'll go ahead. So at this point of time, don't select any conditions. All the records which gets inserted should come into this flow. Okay, so really don't want to set conditions. If you want to set conditions, you can give some conditions as such. Now we need to select whether it is past field updates or actions and related records. Don't worry, this is something like this is before the record event and this is after the record event. As simple as that. The names were little updated like this, but this is basically before and this is after. So before we need to select whenever you want to update fields on the same record, then you need to select before event. In any other conditions like sending of email, updating in other object records or creating new records, then you need to select after the event. In this scenario, we need to update shipping address based on the billing address on the same record. So that's the reason we will select this past field updates or before insert and then click on done. Now that we have configured the start element, which means basically we are telling flow that whenever account is inserted, just before the insert, past field updates is nothing but before, just before the insert, do some actions. What is that action? So we will click on plus. So what we need to do, we need to assign billing address to shipping address. Assigning is something like assignment. So click on assign. So now we need to give some label here. Update. We can just give populate shipping address with billing address. And now we need to set the variables. Now we need to update the shipping address of the record from the billing address of that record, right? So where will get that record? Let's see that. Whenever user enters some data in the form like account name, date, etc., and click on save, that data will go to before insert flow. So in the before insert flow, that data so far that user has entered will be saved in $record. So this is standard feature that Salesforce gives. So if you want to access that value, you can just access with $record dot billing city or billing address accordingly. So let's say you wanted to, like in the previous scenario, if we wanted to update shipping address with the billing address, this is how you would do. $record dot shipping address is equal to $record dot billing address. So the billing address that's already typed by user will be copied over to shipping address. Same with the record shipping city is equal to billing city. It's same for any other fields. If you want to access any of the field of that record that user has entered, you can access by using $record. And once it is done, it will directly go to DB and that dollar record, as that dollar record will be sent to the database and that will be inserted accordingly. Now that we have understood, record variable holds the value that user has entered. So from user interface, whatever you enter, it will come into record variable and sits in flow. So it will be available in flow. So we need to search for that. So if you see in the variable, we have the record. So click on record and it will show all the fields. So we need to select shipping address here. So shipping address we cannot directly give here because this is a compound variable or compound field. So when I say compound field, it is mixed of other fields. Shipping city, shipping country, shipping state, street, and code. All of these 5 fields combinedly called as shipping address. So that's the reason we cannot directly use shipping address. Then how we need to do? So then we need to select each of the fields directly. So shipping street. So we need to select record or shipping street and it has to be assigned with again the same record which will be available in flows. Global variable is record. So record is something which is standard field or standard variable in flows, which you will get the value from user interface. So click on record again. So what is the value that we need to give? As this is shipping address in the left side, we need to provide billing street, billing street, billing street, and billing street. So shipping street equals billing street. Like any programming language, whatever value you see in the right will get assigned to the left side. Shipping street equals to billing street, which means billing street value will get copied over to shipping street. So in the same way, we need to do it for other 5 fields also. So same thing, record, and then find shipping. Now we'll search for city. And same drill, record. Here we need to search for billing city. Two are done. Next. So we have 5 variables or 5 fields. So commonly we call it as shipping address, which is a compound field. So shipping address equals billing address. Billing street will be copied out of shipping street. Billing city to shipping city. Billing country to shipping country. Billing state to shipping state. Billing zip to shipping zip. And click on done. So we can do multiple assignments in the single assignment itself, single assignment element itself. So click on done. So the first trigger says on account. Whenever it inserts, just before the insert, populate shipping address with billing address in the way which we just shown here. Okay, click on done and then save. Give some name here, but give some generic name, not very specific to what we have done. So account trigger flow. So the reason why I have given generic name in the sense, so whenever a new requirements comes, you need to update this before trigger or before insert trigger again. Then whatever title you give here, it will not be justified with the actual functionality. So you can add your functionalities here. So populate shipping address with billing address. Okay. So whenever a new functionality comes, just update here with the new functionality, whatever you have added it. So in this way, whenever a new person comes and sees your flow, they will understand what are the functionalities are there in the same flow, because one flow can accommodate multiple functionalities. It's not only for single assignments. Okay, so I'll just keep it here and then click on save. One last step, click on activate. And as it is activated, this is time to just test it out. So we have accounts page, click on new and give a new account, test account 1. And I scroll down, give some billing addresses, billing address, billing street, test city, A, and billing country, and click on save. So our expectation is whatever value we type here will be copied out to shipping address. Click on save. If there is any issue, it wouldn't get saved if there is an issue with your flow. So click on details. So you see billing address is copied out to shipping address, and voila. As per this scenario, we have added our populate shipping address with billing address logic in flow before insert. So on clicking on save, this flow before insert will be called, and next it will be called apex trigger, which will be empty, and then it will go to database. It inserts but will not commit, and then it will again go to apex trigger, and then to workflows, and then to process builder, and then to flow after insert, and then it will commit our record. Now comes second thumb rule. So whenever a requirement is given to you, check this scenario and see if it is possible with all these three: workflow, process builder, and flow. If it is possible with all of them, then go with flow, because workflow is outdated. Process builder, as per Salesforce, process builder has to be used for the all existing processes which we already created, right, in your previous requirements as well. Only those you need to update your process builders. Don't create new process builder for any new requirements. So for those you need to go with flow. So if it is possible with three of them, if yes, then go with flow. So within that flow itself, you have before and after events, right? So within the flow, if you want to decide between before and after flow, then follow previous thumb rule, which is if you want to pre-populate any field on the same requirement, then choose before flow or after flow. So this is based on requirement. Check the requirement, and if it is possible with all these three, choose flow. Within that flow itself, if we want to choose whether it is before and after, check if it needs to be pre-populating any field on the same record. If yes, go with before flow. As simple as that. Okay, scenario number 2. Whenever a case is created, send an email to case owner with a deadline to resolve it. Okay, this can be done in record triggered flow with after insert event. Now we'll create a new flow here. So click on new flow. And here, whenever, as per the requirement, whenever a case gets created, we want to send an email. So record trigger flow is something which will be called whenever a record is created, updated, or deleted. So select this record trigger flow and click on next. I will always select auto layout because it will arrange the elements properly. Here we need to select the object. So in this case, the object name is case, because whenever case is created, then some action has to happen. So here I will select a record. A record is created which is selected. So I will keep it as is, and the object is case. And here I really don't want to put entry conditions. Entry conditions in the sense, whatever object that comes into that gets created will come into this flow if I don't put conditions. If I put conditions, something like whenever a case is created and the case source is something like email, only then it comes to the logic, then you need to give a condition saying that case source is equal to email or phone, etc. But in this case, I really don't want to put any condition. Why? Because I wanted to have all the records that gets created to come into this flow. So I will scroll down, and if you see, we have two options: fast field updates and actions and related records. In other words, before inserting the record, after inserting the record. So you remember the thumb rule, right? So if you are updating any other fields in the same record, then you need to go for before update or fast field updates. But in this case, we are not really doing that, right? We wanted to send email, and Salesforce also made things easy, right? So update any record and perform any actions like sending of email. So our action has to be also sending an email. So I'll click on this and I'll click on done. Yeah, just one point before clicking on done. So you see there is a checkbox. This checkbox will be there only in after events. So this basically means it will create another thread which will make the transaction which we do it next to run asynchronously. So you need to do mostly this when you are calling web services, because you really don't know what would be the result and how much you need to wait for that, right? So that's the reason whenever you are calling web services from flows, you just need to check this checkbox so that that transaction will run asynchronously. So in this case, we really don't want that. So I will leave it as is and click on done. So now that we have configured start element, it says case object, whenever it is created, do some action. What action? Sending of email. That is something which we need to do it by clicking on this plus, and we need to select send email action. So we do not have any send email action. It will have it under action interaction element. So click on action and search for send email. Or else you can also click email. It should be there somewhere here. You can have existing email alert to be selected here, or you can also do the same thing which I have done. You can directly send email. If we select the send email, we can directly create that text body and subject, etc., etc. here itself. So send email, I will also make send email to case owner and body. So we need to prepare body here. So body is basically text, right? It's an email template kind of thing. So we need to create a resource which will have template kind of thing. So I'll click on new in resource, and in resource type I can select text template. So I will just make it as sample case template, and in here body I will give the text. So hi, a new case has been created and assigned to you, and we'll give case number here directly. So as whenever a record gets created, that record value will be there in flow in record variable, dollar record variable. Just search for that. So record with case, and then click on it, and then we need to find case number. So we have added this case number. This will be shown once email get into that person. So, and along with that we'll add some witty text. Take as much as time you want to resolve this issue. However, complete it by EOD today. P.S. We know that you have completed 5 seasons web series in a single weekend. So please don't complain that deadline is too short. Regards, Shrikant, Salesforce. I think this would do, right? And click on done. So we have a sample body. We need to have sample subject. However, you can create a new resource with a simple text, but this is a simple text, right? I will just create it as you have a new case. But if you want to add case number in the subject also, you need to create new resource type, and in that text you can mention case number like I have mentioned in body. Okay, like record dot case number. Now in the email addresses, I will just get the case owner, comma separator. So I'll just click here, and then again case owner details will be there in record again, and then I will select created by or owner email. Done. So we have the owner email ID here, and then I think rest of it should be fine. I'll click on done. So we have our flow ready, and it is ready to get tested, but before that we need to save it, right? So click on save. Flow number 2 after insert, and it can be case send email to case owner. So I know you need to give some generic names, but I'm just giving like that, okay? Or else what I would do is just keep it here, and then click on save and activate. So we have our flow activated. We just need to test it now. So we'll quickly test it. Go to home, and then search for cases object. So we have our cases tab opened, and now I will click on new. So we'll quickly create a case, status new, case origin to phone, and then I think that should be it. Our subject is some subject, test case subject. I think that should do. Yeah, I click on save. So the case owner is me, so I should be receiving an email. So case got saved. Let me check if I got email. Now if you see the email, we got the email, we have a new case. However, we got the case number also, but however we have these HTML tags, right? So we have done a small mistake while we are creating that event template. So let us go back and update it, the flow. So go to flow builder, and if you open this email alert again, click on edit element, and if we scroll down, so this is something which we need to enable, rich text formatted body. So we just need to include it, and now we need to give saying that it's true. So we have global variable called true, which is flow variable. Just click on true, and then global constant or true, which is basically enabling the rich text format, and then click on done, save as, save, and activate it. So we just enable that rich text area, rich text format, and then we'll go back here and we'll quickly clone it. Clone, I'll just say the subject, and then click on save. Now we should be getting a new case. See, we got a new case saying that you have a new case. Report form will just see, click it, look safe. Hi, a new case has been created and assigned to you. Okay, with case number, this is the case number, right? 1029. See, this is how you can send emails from Salesforce. You can create your own email templates within the flow itself, or you can also have existing, you can also use your existing email alerts. Very simple, right? Now with this scenario, we have added our send email logic in flow after insert. But this flow is related to case because whenever case is created, we wanted to send an email. So on case insert, we have a different flow, which is this, and we have added our send email case. The previous one is on account. So that is a different flow on insert. Okay, so that's the reason it had populating shipping address here, and this is empty. And here, this is case insert flow. That's the reason we are having here, and this is empty. Okay. Okay, another scenario. If an opportunity revenue value changed more than $10,000 compared to the previous value, add a comment in the description field mentioning revenue changed more than $10,000. Okay, this can also be done with record trigger flow, but with before update event. Let's see that how. Let's understand what is the requirement here is. So as Cubai has mentioned, when the opportunity revenue is changed, which means this should apply for all the existing records, not for the new records, because when the revenue is changed and the change is greater than $10,000, then something should happen. So you see the revenue, so we'll take one of the revenues, so we'll take the amount. So basically when I say revenue, we'll take amount value. So the current value is 2,35,000, right? So, but if the value is more than 10,000, so let's make it as 20. So just make it as 1 lakh. So earlier it was 2,35,000. Now it is just 1 lakh. Now if this change happens, then the description field should have the comment saying that the change has happened, but then the value is more than 10,000. So I'm clicking on save. So now there will not be any change, but whenever the change happens, the description has to update like that. So let's see how we can do that. We'll go to flows homepage and click on new flow. Here, as this is on update, whenever values gets update, something should happen. So click on record trigger flow, click on next, and auto layout again. And in the flow builder, the object name is opportunity now, because on opportunity, whenever the amount or revenue changes, this should happen. So as the requirement says, whenever the revenue changes, which means it's all for the existing records. So that's the reason we need to select update, because only existing opportunities we can update, right? So we have selected the update. I really don't want to keep any entry conditions here. I will leave it like that. Now we have two options again: past field updates, actions and related contacts, which is before event, after event. Now the thing is, as per the requirement, whenever the amount changes, it should add a comment in description, which means we need to add or pre-populate the description field on the same record. So as per the thumb rule, if we are updating the same records fields, we need to select before event or past field update. So click on that and then click on done. Now we are saying in opportunity object, before the record gets updated, we want to check what is the previous value and what is the current value and find the difference. If the difference is more than 10,000, then we need to add the comment. So first thing is, we need to check the difference, right? And also we need to check whether it is greater than 10,000 or not. So to check a condition, we need to add a decision box. Click on decision now. Check if current amount value is greater than $10,000 than previous amount value. So this is the API now. So we need to find if yes. So we need to write conditions, right? Now to find what is the previous value and old value, Salesforce have some variables. Whenever user updates a record, it will go to database, and before it goes to database, it will go to flow before update block. After it hits the database, it will again call flow after update. So whenever it is there in before update or after update block, flow holds the given data in dollar record. So whatever data that they have given or changed, it will be there in dollar record. However, if you want to see what are the previous values, then those values will be there in $record prayer. Let's say in the name field, the value changed from Shrikant to Shrikant1. Shrikant value will be there in $record prayer.name and Shrikant1 will be there in $record.name. So this is how you can compare the previous value and the current value and then see if there is a change, and based on that you can perform your logics. In this scenario, we are just checking if the value of comments field has been changed. So this is how you would check. If $record.comments not equal to $recordPrayer.comments, basically if it has been changed, then you can send a mail or you can add that particular value to some new record as logs. So this is how you can leverage standard Salesforce flow variables. These are flow variables that are given by standard Salesforce as a standard Salesforce features. Now that we have understood the previous values will be stored in record prayer and the current values will be stored in record variable, we will see how we can compare it. So we will just search for record. You see record and record prayer. So record and record prayer, record will be available in before after insert also. Record prayer will be available only in before and after update. Now we'll click on record and we need to search for amount field. So amount greater than, now it should be, this amount should be greater than previous records amount. So prior and then amount. But if you see, this is amount greater than previous record amount, but we need to see if it is greater than 10,000, right? So for that we need to create a formula. So click on new resource and then formula should be a number. So we'll click on, and then we need to create a formula because formula should calculate previous value plus $10,000. So formula and then previous value, previous amount value plus 10,000, right? Now in the data type we'll give number and the in the resource record prior, and then it should be amount field and we need to add 10,000 and then click on done. Now if you see amount value greater than that variable will be having previous value plus 10,000. Then we need to update the comment, update the description field. Then we need to update the description field. Okay, now click on done. So now if yes, what should happen? We just need to update the description, right? So what we need to do, it's just a simple assignment. So assign or add comment and description field. So I will just add a comment in description field. So description field will be a variable record and then find the description and then add and then give some text. Okay, I will just give text as revenue changed more than $10,000 and then done. So this is how we have done. So first thing is, if the opportunity is getting updated, before it gets updated, we'll check whether the current amount value is greater than the previous amount value. If yes, then add the comments saying that revenue is more than $10,000. As simple as that. So we'll click on save and then we need to give a flow tree before insert trigger and add comments if current amount is greater than previous amount plus 10,000 and then save and then activate. Now it is time to test. So we'll quickly go here and then we can see the existing record itself. So currently it is $1 lakh, right? We just need to make a difference of more than 10,000 and we'll see whether it is affecting or not. So instead of 1.5 lakh, 1 lakh, I will make it as 1,50,000. Currently the description field is empty, and if I click on save, you see revenue change more than $10,000. We'll do a negative test. So instead of just 10,000, I will only update 5,000. So 1,50,000, I will make it as 1,55,000. So we just updated only 5,000. Now it should not have any value in the description now. Okay, after I save it. So click on save. See, no description. Now again, if I will change it to another 20,000, 75, and then click on save. See, the value has changed. So see, very easy. If you see, I updated the value to another 20,000, which means 95,000 now, and click on save. Already the value is revenue change more than 10,000. If I click on save, we'll get one more revenue change more than 10,000. The reason is it is appending. So in the flow, when I have assigned or added that comment, I have added the operator add. So which means it will append the existing description field value. If I click equals, every time I add a new value change, then it will just reassign, or like it will get overridden. So revenue change more than $10,000 will be appeared only once. Whenever, even though you change multiple times also, it will be appeared only once, overriding one and all every time. Okay. So in this flowchart, we have seen update an opportunity should create a comment in the description field, right? So that's the reason we need to have a new part, which is update part. So even in the previous scenarios, we will be having the update parts. However, as all of them are empty, we left it like that. So whenever opportunity is updated, we will have these blocks. So we have full flow types, right? Which flow events, right? Before insert event, after insert event, before update event, after update event. So whenever opportunity is inserted, it will be following this path, and whenever opportunity is updated, it will follow this path. So as per the scenario, we have added our logic in this flow update. So when user clicks on save, it will come here and updates this logic, and then add the comment in the description field, and it will go to the apex trigger before update, and then as it is empty, it will go to database and updates the record, and then again it will come to apex trigger after update, and then to workflow and to process builder and to flow after update, and then it will commit its changes. Every object will be having this kind of similar flowchart on insert, update, and we also will be having delete also. Oh god, another scenario? This guy is literally a mathematics book, always full of problems. Okay, let's see this. Whenever account rating changes from hot to cold, delete all opportunities associated with that account. Yeah, this can be done with record trigger flow by using after update event. So as the requirement clearly says, whenever the rating changes from hot to cold, which means it's already created, so it's an existing account. So if the rating changes from hot to cold, so it should be already hot, and if it changes to cold, then all the related opportunities has to be deleted. So currently, let's say take this account as an example. Currently we do not have any opportunities. Let us create few opportunities before we create flow. Give some opportunity name as test opportunity, and then close date with so and so, and stage with prospecting. Yeah, I think that should do, and click on save. So we'll do the same again and click on, we'll create another opportunity, test op 2, and then close date with some values and stage with prospecting, and then save. So now that this account is having two opportunities and currently rating is hot, so if it changes to cold, below two opportunities has to be deleted. Okay, so let us create flow first. So we go to flows home screen and then click on new, which will take us to flow builder. So whenever it changes, whenever the rating updates or the record changes, we need to delete those opportunities. So we need to choose record trigger flow. Why? Because it is on record update. So click on this and next, and select auto layout. Now it will ask the object, so we'll make it as account, and then it should be on update, right? So this is on update. We want all the records to come in here, so really don't want to give any conditions here. Now here we need to select fast field updates or actions and related records, which means before update or after update. But if you see, we want to delete records of another object. Whenever account update happens, then we need to delete another object records, which means a different action. So we need to select actions and related records and then click on done. Now it basically says whenever account is updated, after the account is updated, we need to do certain action, but we need to give a condition saying that the rating has been changed from hot to cold, right? So that means we need to have a decision box here again, like in the previous scenario. So we will click here and then scroll down, create a decision box, check if rating changed to cold from hot. Then if yes is one of our outcome, then here we can give the condition. So we have the record and record prior values, right? So record current rating and record prior rating. So record rating So we have record rating, so which will make it as equals to cold. So current account rating is cold and the previous rating is hot. So previous rating, previous records rating, previous value rating is hot. It is both all met, all conditions are met. So if yes, so if the outcome is yes, which means if current rating is cold and previous rating is hot, then this condition says yes. Okay, and then click on done. Now if you see, check if the rating changed from cold from hot. If yes, which is our condition where we have given two conditions, if the current rating is cold and previous rating is hot, then we need to delete those records. How to delete the records in Flow? So if we click on plus and if we scroll down, you already have seen action, you have seen assignment, you have seen decision, we haven't seen loop yet, correction sort, etc. But we haven't seen this data also. Here we have delete records option. So we'll select delete records and then delete related opportunities, just ops, and then we need to find the record collection, right? So we will specify the condition on a specific object to get those records. Okay, so we will select this to find the opportunity. So give the opportunity object name here, and now it will ask the condition. So what is the condition? Opportunity will be having account ID field, right? So search for account ID field. So opportunities account ID field should be equals to current account record ID. Where is ID? Yeah. So this basically says current record is account, right? Current account record ID matching opportunities, related opportunities, which means this particular query or this particular deletion will bring up all the opportunities which are having account ID matching with the current records account ID. And then click on done. Do you think it is completed? Yes, it is. So in delete, we just mentioned select all the opportunities which are related to the current account ID. And as the operation itself is delete selection, it will delete those records automatically because we have selected delete action itself. We just told what are the records that it needs to delete. Now we have done with our flow. Click on save and then flow 4. After update, delete related opportunities on account rating change from hot to cold. Okay, and then click on save. Now activate. Now if we go back to this account, and then now if we change this rating from hot to cold, these opportunities has to be deleted. So click on this and then hot to cold and then click on save. The expectation is opportunities got deleted. See, now we'll do the negative testing also. First we'll make it to hot first. Click on save. Meanwhile we will add one more opportunity, test of 1 or 2 and then close date to so and so and then save. So we'll just have one opportunity and we'll see if it is getting deleted if we make it to cold. From hot, instead of changing from hot to cold, I will change it to hot to warm. And then if I click on save, that opportunity should not get deleted because our condition is if it changes from hot to cold, only then this opportunity should be deleted. Even if it from warm to cold, it will not get deleted. It should not get deleted because the condition is if the previous value is hot and the current value is cold, only then that should get deleted. So I will again change it to hot and then save, and it should not get deleted. Now the rating is hot, and now if we change it to cold, only then it should get deleted. See? So this is how you can play with record prior and record values, and in this scenario you learned how to use delete action. As per the scenario, we have deleted the opportunities whenever account rating field changed. Okay, now we have added that logic in flow after update. So this entire flowchart is on account object. So however, as per the scenario one, we already done populating shipping address with billing address in flow before insert on account object itself. As we have done on account object itself, it is appearing here, and we have done scenario 4 on account object itself. That's the reason it is appearing here. For scenario 1, we have done on flow before insert on account object itself, Scenario 4 we have done on flow after update on account object itself. That's the reason you are seeing both of them. Let's say whenever account inserts, this will follow this path, and we'll see if the shipping address is empty, it will update it accordingly and then inserts the database. And if you update any account, it checks if the account rating is changed, and it will delete the opportunities if the rating is equal to cold. So that is how the flowcharts will be there for each of the object. So scenario 1 is on account object, scenario 2 is on case object, scenario 3 is on opportunity object, scenario 4 is on account object again. That's the reason you are seeing two scenarios blended in one flowchart. Okay, scenario number 5. Whenever account is created or updated, if the rating is hot, create opportunity with the same name as account. So we have a rating field in account. So whenever the rating is hot, whether it is created or updated, then we need to create an opportunity same as account. So we can do this with record trigger flow, but we need to use two events. One is after insert and after update. So if you have observed the flow screen, we have combo event as well. Let's look into that. So as per the scenario, we need to create opportunity whenever accounts rating, the rating field is hot, whether it is created or when it is getting updated. Let's see how we can create such kind of flow. Click on new flow here, and in this new flow we need to select record trigger flow. Why? Because whenever account is getting created or updated and the rating value is hot, then we need to create an opportunity. So this obviously fits our purpose. So record trigger flow and then click on next and select auto layout, and in here it will ask the object name. Now we need to select account, and if you see the events, we need to select the third option, which is whenever a record is or account record is created or updated, we need to follow the process or follow the next process, which is creation of opportunity. And now if you remember, the other condition it's also said is account rating is hot. So we need to allow only the records which are having rating is equal to hot. So we will give the same condition. So all the conditions are met, and then we will give rating, and then we need to select equals, and the condition is hot. So rating equals hot on account whenever it is created or updated. Then we need to create an opportunity. So as we remember the thumb rule, if we want to update any field on the same record, then we need to choose this. Any other condition, we need to go ahead with actions and related records. So this is something which we need to select now, and then click on done. Now we have this configuration where it says if account is getting created or updated with a condition called rating is equal to hot, then we need to do following action. What is that following action? So click on plus, and now we need to create a new record. So this is the action that we need to perform. Create records. So here we need to give a label create opportunity. So opportunity, when we create an opportunity, it will have multiple mandatory fields. Let's see what are they. We have opportunity name, close date, and stage. Okay, so total 3 mandate fields. So we just need to give those mandate fields in this create records action. So how many records to create? So we need to create only one. How to set the record field values? So we can have, so we need to use separate values. We need to select the below option because we can give the values directly. So the object is opportunity. So now it will ask what are the fields that you want to populate. So we have 3 fields that are mandated, so we need to provide 3 field values. So first thing is opportunity name or name. So opportunity name should be same name as account name. So account name will be stored in record, right? So if flows will store the account record in record variable. So record dot name. Done. Now we need to have the close date. So close date. So we'll give current date. We'll give some hard coded text. So month. So if you see this is the format, we'll give some random values. So 11/30/2022. Okay, and then we will add one more field, which is stage, and we should be seeing prospecting, and then click on done. So we have our configuration of our flow ready. So on account insertion or updation, if the rating is hot, we are creating an opportunity with those 3 values. Account name is populated with opportunity name, and close date we have given some hard-coded date, and finally this stage we have kept it as prospecting as default value. So let us click on save and give this is flow number 5 if I'm not wrong, and then this is on after insert update trigger. Create opportunity on account rating. I said do not. And then click on save and activate this and let us check it out. So we'll close this one and click on account. So yeah, one more thing we left it. So we have created the opportunity, but it has to be associated with the same account, right? So I think that is something which we need to do. So click on edit. And we need to add one more field, which is account ID, because this opportunity has to be associated with the same account, right? So the account ID will be stored in record. So because this is the record.id ID, and click on done. Click on save as, save, activate. Now if we test this out, whenever we create an account with rating hot, it should create the opportunity as well immediately. So test account flow 5. Okay, and then rating I will give it as hot, and then if I scroll down and then click on save, opportunity, see, opportunity is also created with close date with the hard-coded value that we have given, and that the name is same as account name. See, account name and opportunity name is same. Let's do a negative testing by creating a new opportunity without giving rating as hot. Okay, so rating is not given here, so click on save. It should not create an opportunity. See, opportunity is empty. Now we also need to test how it is working with existing records. So this is a test account. If we see the rating, it is cold and we have no opportunities. So if we make it to hot, it should create an opportunity. Currently we don't have any opportunity. As we are changing it to hot, it should create it. See, it has created. And let's say I do any other update. Rating is already there. I will do an update. Now there is some unexpected thing that will happen now. So even we have, it's already there, an opportunity is already created because we have changed it to hot earlier. Now I am doing another update which is not rating, which is not rating field. If I click on save, still it will create another opportunity, which is not the expected result, right? So this update, whenever the rating field itself is updated, opportunities has to be created. Not every time we do some update and then it will get created, right? So the reason is here, we go back here and then scroll here. It says the condition itself says whenever update happens on this account, it will check whether the rating is hot or not, and it will create. It will not check whether it has been changed from some other value to hot. So that is the extra condition that we need to add. So click on add condition again here, and then rating, and you also need to check if it is changed to true, which means if the rating is changed and the rating is hot, only then you need to follow the action, which is creation of opportunities. Earlier, as this condition is not there, it is creating. Whenever someone updates, it will come to this flow and it checks whether the rating is hot, and then it will immediately create. Now we have added one more condition saying that if rating is changed and the rating value is hot, only then we need to have the new opportunity created. So click on done and then click on save as, save, and activate. So now we have our flow. I will go back here and then test it out. So currently we already have this. We'll go to the previous account. So this is the account, right? Currently opportunity is created. So currently the value is hot. So if we give the phone number, which is another update that we are just doing, it's not only phone, it's any other field that we update. With the previous condition, we could have created an opportunity. But now, as we have added that extra condition, is change is equal to true. Now it will not create the opportunity. Now I click on save. So it will still have the same one record. Got it? So this is how you can use after insert and update combo in a single flow. With this scenario, you have also learned how to use create action also. Okay, coming to next scenario. Whenever a lost opportunity is getting deleted, send a notification. How to achieve it? So we can send notifications from process builder, right? So we can also do with flows also. So, but we need to do it whenever the lost opportunity is deleted. So this can be done with before delete event from record trigger flow. We cannot do this with process builder or workflow because Salesforce will never call process builder or workflow whenever there is a deletion happens. As per the scenario, we need to send notification whenever opportunity is deleted. However, from flows, if you want to send notifications, you need to create notification types, custom notification types. So search for custom notifications, custom notifications. See, under notification builder, you should be seeing custom notifications. So remember this path. So click on custom notifications. Now click on new to create a notification type. Give any name. I will just give flow sample notification. You need to provide supporting channels, at least one supporting channels. Here I will just select desktop and then click on save. So this step is easy. So this is how you will create a notification type. Now we will go to the flow and we'll see how we can create before delete flow and send notification from it. So we know the drill. Click on flows from here and it will take us to the home screen of flows and click on new flow. Here we also Here we need to select record trigger flow. Why? Because whenever a deletion happens on opportunity, we need to send a notification. So I'm clicking here and then click on next and auto layout. And we need to select the object. So the object name is opportunity and the trigger timing or the trigger event is delete. A trigger is deleted. Whenever opportunity is deleted, then we need to send a notification. So we have only before delete action here. So before the delete itself, we are trying to send a notification. Now we also need to put one more condition here because it's not simple opportunity which is lost. Lost in the sense there is a stage field which should be in closed lost status. So just search for stage field on the opportunity and it should be equals to closed lost, which means an opportunity which is getting deleted with the status of closed lost, then go ahead with this process. Now click on done. Now that we have configured the start element, now we need to send a notification. We can send notification by using this action. Okay, click on action. Now we need to find custom notification here. So something like notification, see, send custom notification. Now we'll just give it some name as send notification to, we will send it to opportunity owner. So whenever opportunity is getting deleted, which is of closed lost status, we need to send it to opportunity owner. So opportunity owner and then give the API name. Now if we see there are 4 mandatory values. Notification body, it's just a simple text. Directly we can say an opportunity is deleted, something like that. And even in the title also, oops, and opportunity is deleted. And in recipient IDs, we need to provide to whom it needs to go. So recipient IDs, as it says IDs, it is basically plural. So number of users, it will not accept single user ID here. So we need to prepare that variable where it will have the opportunity ID name. Even though it is cell list, we at least need to add one of the user there, which is our opportunity owner ID. Now if you see the custom notification ID, custom notification ID is nothing but the custom notification that we have created just before. So I'll just go back here, custom notification, yeah, and this is the notification ID which we need to get it and then put it here. So we cannot directly get that value here, so we need to query that object. So this is basically custom notification itself is a object, Salesforce object. So we need to query this object to find the ID by using this name, and then we will update that ID here. And recipient IDs, we need to create a list and then add our opportunity ID name here. So before this adding of new action, we need to do a couple of steps. First, get this custom notification object record, and then we'll see how we need to go later. So click on plus, and we need to query that custom notifications. So we can query the records by using this get records element. So click on get records element, then we can say get custom notification type, and then API name. Object name is custom notification type. Okay. And then we need to provide the condition. What is the condition? Condition should be the API name, which we also call it as developer name, should be equal to flow sample notification, because at this point of time we only have one, but we might be having many in future. So we just need to get that API name by developer name equals the value flow sample notification. This is the developer name or API name, both are same. Then it will pull this record and then we'll get that record. Only the first record, I think that should be fine, and then click on done. So now we should be getting that record, and then we have that in some of the list. So we'll get that value. You see, a record single variable has been created. Custom notification type from get custom notification type. Okay, from here whatever you got the record, it will be stored in this record single variable. Okay, now if that value whatever we have selected there, if we made it as all records, if there are multiple records, then it will be a list. Instead of record single variable, it will be record multiple variables, which means number of records, basically a list. Currently we are getting only one record here. So far clear, right? Now we need to have a list variable which is used for recipient IDs in the notification. So that is something which we are going to do now. So click on this and then click on assignment, and the assignment assign opportunity owner to a list variable for recipient ID of custom notification. So we have custom, when we are trying to create a custom notification action, we have a recipient ID variable that is a mandatory field, right? For that we need to create a list variable. So that is what here it is. So here we'll create a new resource which will be a simple variable, and the data type API name is recipient IDs. And then data type should be text, and it should allow multiple values. So basically we are creating a variable called recipient IDs, and currently the list is empty. Now we need to add one of the value, which is our opportunity owner. Opportunity record will be there in record variable, right? So even before delete we'll be having record variable. So whatever record that is getting deleted will be there in this record variable. So record variable owner ID. Then so recipient ID will be having only one ID, which is opportunity ID. You can also add one more ID if you want, something like the same recipient IDs, add, and you can add one more variable, maybe created by, something like that, or last modified by, created by. Okay, or if you want to send it to account owner, so this is opportunity, right? If you want to send it to account owner, we can search for that also, owner ID. So if you see, whatever opportunity that you are deleting, that opportunity owner ID will be in recipient ID, and that opportunity's account owner ID is also in the recipient ID field. Now the idea is that custom notification has to be shown in both these users notification box. Now click on done. So we added those users into the recipient ID. Now we have our final step where we need to add our custom action, which is sending custom notification. Custom notification, see, this is the one. Send notification to opportunity owner and account owner, and then type. If you see, this is the type which we got it from get records variable. So here click on that. That variable will be stored in this record single variable. This is the variable that Salesforce will automatically created by using that get records action. Click on that, and we should be, so this particular record is having all the fields of that custom notification. We are interested in only the ID field of it, ID field. So this is the custom notification ID, which is this notification ID. Now we need to create notification body, which will just create we can directly give something like opportunity is deleted, or we can also create a formula, something like that. So click on new resource. You can either create text template, or you can just create single line formula. So formula sample notification body, and then in text, data type should be text, and formula. So we'll just get the opportunity name, which will get it in record and name, and we will give something like, so to add that match field, we call these as match fields, and to add some text over there, we just need to use plus operator here. opportunity is deleted, and then click on save or done. And now we have that notification body. Now we have the notification body. Notification title, we can just say oops, oops. Yeah. And then in the recipient IDs, we can give the variable that we just created earlier, which is having both the values of opportunity owner and account owner. So this is the variable that we have created. It collection variable is nothing but a list. List is nothing but array. Array is nothing but list of values. So recipient IDs and sender ID. Now if you see, we have target ID, which we need to select this, and then we need to provide where this notification has to be displayed. So we want to display it on the same record which is getting deleted. So record and then ID. So the same opportunity ID, on the same opportunity ID itself, it will display the notification. And click on done. So now we have the flow where on opportunity deletion, just before the delete, we are getting the notification record to get the ID actually, and then we are creating a list here. This list contains the value of opportunity owner and account owner, and finally we are sending a notification by giving that notification ID and then giving the recipient ID. We have created the notification body template, and we have given title as oops, and then yeah, so this is how it will send notification. We'll test it out. So before testing, we need to click on save. I think this flow is flow 6 before trigger, and send custom notification, and then click on save. Done, and activate. I think we are good. We'll just check it out. Search for opportunities, which is in closed lot. Now we'll test it. So click on opportunity. Now we need to delete the opportunity which is in closed lost status. Currently the stage is prospecting. We'll make it to closed lost, and then we will delete the record. So now this opportunity is closed lost. Now we will delete this opportunity and then see if we are getting any notification. So click on this drop down and click on delete, and click on delete, and it should give us a notification. You see, a new notification has come up. Click on this, and if you see, oops, test account 1 opportunity is deleted. So test account 1 is that opportunity name, and that is how you will have that notification. This is how you can create notifications. In this scenario, you have learned how to send notifications, plus you also understood how to use get records option in record trigger flow. This is how a complete flowchart will look like for any object. If you see, this is an opportunity object in our scenario 6, where we are trying to send an custom notification on deletion of an opportunity. So whenever opportunity is inserted, it will follow this path. And if an opportunity is updated, it will follow this path. And if an opportunity is deleted, it will follow this path. If you see delete is having only 3, and however insert and update are having 6 components. The reason is workflows and process builders are not applicable for delete. They will only work for after insert events and after update events. Okay. However, even flow, if you see, flows will have only 5 events: before insert, after insert, before update, after update, and before delete. It will not have after delete as of current release. But we have apex trigger which are having all the 6 events, which are before insert, before update, after update, before delete, and after delete. And we also have after undelete also, which is a 7th event, which will get called whenever a record is recovered from recycle bin. We can do some actions after record is recovered. So that is the reason Apex is more powerful than flows, which can do complex logics. But the thing is, we really don't need to write code in flows. But in Apex, we need to code, we need to maintain, we need to have support and all. So that is the reason. Always try to choose flows. If not, only go to Apex triggers. So if you see, as per scenario 3, we have added comments in the description field on amount change on opportunity, right? So that's the reason it is having. So whenever opportunity is updated, it will check this logic and then do the necessary change and updates the record in the database, and will do rest of the it will check all the rest of the four events, and then finally it will commit into database. Same way, whenever opportunity is deleted, it will check the flow and send the notification, and then it will check the apex trigger before delete, and then it will update, it will impact the database, and then finally it will check the apex trigger after delete, and then finally it will take that particular record out of Salesforce database and then will put into recycle bin. So this is how a flowchart will look like, not only for this object. Each of the object will be having a similar kind of flowchart: insert, update, and delete. Let's have a quick quiz now. If an opportunity gets inserted and don't fill the close date, then pre-populate that date with current date plus 90 days. Which automation tool would you use? So take 5 seconds pause and then see the answer. So now we have four options: record triggered flow before insert, workflow, process builder, and record triggered flow after insert. The answer is record triggered flow before insert. Have you seen this guy? Of course, it's relevant now. Remember the thumb rule? So if you want to pre-populate any field on the same record, go with before block. So in this case, we have before insert, which is record triggered flow before insert. Rest of them are after insert events. We can also do with workflow, process builder, and record triggered flow after insert also. But the thing is, as they are in after event blocks, it will consume extra DML operation, which is not recommended. So the answer is record triggered flow before insert. Quiz number 2. Whenever opportunity gets closed, send a congrats email to opportunity owner. Which automation tool would you prefer? Option A, workflow. Option B, process builder. Option C, record triggered flow before update. Option D, record triggered flow after update. So, and the answer is record triggered flow after update. So if you see, we can send emails from workflow, process builder, and record triggered flow after update. In that case, why we have choose answer D. So remember the thumb rule too. Whenever a particular scenario is possible with workflow, process builder, and flow, always choose flows. Okay. Now within flows we have before and after, right? Then why did we choose option D, which is after update? So remember thumb rule 1, where it says if you want to pre-populate any field on the same record, then you choose before, else choose after. In this particular scenario, it is sending of email. It's not pre-populating the record in the same record. That is the reason the answer is D, record triggered flow after update. Hope you got it. Quiz number 3. If user updates account records mobile number, then all its related contact mobile numbers should also update it, same as account mobile number. And the options are record triggered flow before update, workflow, record triggered flow after update, and process builder. Just take your time and then answer this. And the answer is record triggered flow after update. The reason is, again come to thumb rule, whenever a scenario is possible with workflow, process builder, and flows, then go with the flow. Within the flow, if you want to decide before or after, then we need to go to the previous thumb rule, which is if you want to pre-populate any field on the same record, then choose before, else after. In our case, we wanted to update records of related contacts. So that is the reason we should be choosing after event here, which is after update. Hope this is clear. Quiz number 4. In a given scenario, we have object A and object B. Object B is child of object A via lookup. So object A is parent and object B is child, and they are connected via lookup relationship. If object A record is deleted, delete all its related records on object B. So if you already know, we cannot, with the lookup relationship, if object A is deleted, child records will not be deleted. However, this is true if the relationship is master deleted. So as we are not able to delete with standard functionality, now we need to see the options how to do this. Option A, record trigger flow before delete. Option B, workflow. Option C, record trigger flow after delete. And option D, process builder. So please think about the options by which we can achieve this scenario. And the answer is record trigger flow before delete. So I put this in red. Why? Because there is no record trigger flow after delete operation. It does have it in apex triggers, not in flows. If you have selected this, pat your shoulder. If you have selected this, pat your head. Quiz number 5. Can we create custom roll-up summary using flows? Example, to find number of contacts value in account record itself. If yes, what are the events to use it in flows to achieve this? So you already know that the roll-up summary will be there, right, to find the number of contacts as such on master detail relationship. However, it is not possible on account and contacts. Now the thing is, can we do this? So as per the question, can we do that roll-up summary using flows? Options are answer A no, answer B yes, but the events are before insert and before delete. Answer C yes, record trigger flow after insert, after update, before delete. Answer D is yes, record trigger flow after insert and before delete. Take time again and then come up with an answer. This is little tricky, but try to find the answer. And the answer is answer C. Record trigger flow after insert, after update and before delete. So people who has answered this, really well done. And I'm making a video on how to create a custom roll-up summary using flows. I will be posting this week. Wow, flow can do many things. Since we don't need triggers anymore, we can do everything with no code and flows itself. No, the answer is no, 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 no. Because flows are of course advanced, but that doesn't mean flow can do everything. So it certainly has some limitations, which can be done using Apex triggers and Apex development, batch classes, etc., etc. Things you cannot do with flows. Before inserting or updating records, if you want to throw an error based on some complex logic, flows cannot fulfill such requirements. Then the solution would be Apex triggers. So you might say you can throw errors with validation rules, right? But that is for simple logics. Validation rules cannot work for complex logics. If that is the case, if you want to throw an error based on some complex logics, then definitely you need to go for Apex triggers. This is something which we will see in my upcoming videos on Apex triggers. So in Apex triggers, we have before insert. This before insert is not only used for pre-populating fields, but also fire errors based on complex logics. So Apex triggers before insert is both for pre-populating and fire errors. But for flows, our before insert is only used for pre-populating fields. Hope this is clear. So this is where the difference between Apex triggers before insert and flows before insert. And one more thing that we cannot do with flow is, let's say contact record is record from recycle bin and you want to send an email to account owner. So this is something which you cannot do with flows. So you can undelete a record from recycle bin, right? As soon as it gets undeleted, if you want to send an email, flows doesn't support that. So that is where again Apex triggers will come into picture, because in Apex triggers there is an event called after undelete. So whenever undelete happens, suppose that if you want to perform any actions, then you can do it with Apex triggers. And that's the wrap up. If you like the video, give a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comment down below. Practice, 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 and bye.